Okay, chemical issues. I'm going to talk about two chemical issues. One is exposure to the technician. The other is chemical spills. And this was a respirator that one of my pest control customers came in. He says, "Hey, Andy, you think I need a new respirator?" "Yeah, I think you need a new respirator about 12 years ago." I mean, this was crazy. But that was his respirator. So what I want to talk about first is using your PPE, your personal protective equipment. Use your PPE all the time, not just when you're applying chemicals. I think as an industry, we do a good job of using our PPE while we're spraying, while we're applying chemicals, okay? It's the law, so we do it. Where I see issues is other times. So for example, a tech will bring a spray gun into our shop and say, "Hey, this is leaking, can you fix it?" And the chemical's dripping all over his hand, okay? And I actually have a great example of that. We got a call from someone, I don't even know where they were. They said, "Do you sell quick disconnects?" We said, "Sure." "What size or what brand?" "I don't know." "Can you send us a picture?" "Sure." This is the picture he sent us, okay? And so the weed guys will see that this is probably pre-emergent with dye in it, and it's all over this guy's hand. And my guess would be, when this person's out spraying, they're probably using gloves, but for some reason they think the chemicals don't matter when you're not spraying. So use your PPE all the time. And I'm going to address the men. I'm going to be a little bit chauvinistic here. The women are smart. It's always the men who do stupid stuff like this, okay? So you're not indestructible. You got to use your PPE. It's not worth taking this kind of risk, okay? Here's another great example. This is a sprayer that was brought in for service. It was a 100-gallon weed sprayer in the back of a Gator. And we took one look at this and saw that this is pre-emergent for you pest control guys. This is pre-emergent that's been spilling all over this tank for probably months. You could tell there's like different layers and different colors, and there's chemical just been sloshing around this thing for a long, long time. And think about, there's no way that you could be using this equipment and not getting chemical on you. There's just chemical everywhere. There's too much of it. And this is unsafe for the technician. And in my opinion, it's unacceptable for the company. This was a Gator that was used to go spray weeds around an apartment complex. Think about the message you're sending to your customers if your name is on this. If this is Andrew's Weed Control Company. It's terrible. And so if you're the technician, in my opinion, you need to raise your hand and say, "Boss, I need some time to clean my equipment." And if you're the boss, you need to say, "Hey, wait a minute, we got to get that clean before you go out." Because this is just unsafe, in my opinion. Okay? All right. So we want to prevent chemical buildup on your equipment, in your vehicle. And if you're the technician or the boss, you got to inspect and clean your stuff. Here's one of the ways we do it. This is one of the ways we build a skid sprayer is we raise it up so you can take a hose and clean your truck out. So it's not building up chemical continuously. We see a lot of chemical spill inside the frame of the sprayer, and it's almost impossible to get that cleaned if it's not raised up. So that's one way to do it. Okay. This is a great photo. This was a dual tank. There used to be two 100-gallon tanks on this vehicle, and it caught fire, and the two 100-gallon tanks melted, and chemical ran everywhere, and this whole sprayer was a total loss. The technician said, "I was driving down the freeway and some other driver flicked a cigarette butt into my vehicle and it caught fire and burned." Now, we didn't have a lie detector test there at the time, but that would be a heck of a shot for one 60-mile-an-hour vehicle to flick a cigarette butt into another 60-mile-an-hour vehicle. Hell of a shot, So in my opinion, what probably happened here was the tech had a filthy, disgusting vehicle covered in chemical, was smoking a cigarette, flicked his cigarette butt into the vehicle, and drove off. And this happened, it caught fire on I-17. And he got away with it. The cops did not show up. No one caught him, didn't get fined. But it cost the company a couple $1,000 to fix this. And it could have been worse. That could have been on the news. So another reason to keep your vehicles clean. And be glad this wasn't you.